guys out there in YouTube land. Yes, it's me, DR. I've been away from YouTube for a while. Thought I'd come back, make a couple of videos, put my opinions out there more and more. I'm going to kind of do this in a very sequential way. I've had some feedback that some of my videos are disjointed and jumbled and hard to follow. So, follow this. This video is really about my views on the prevalence of extreme views within the Western world. So, the kind of statement, the starting question is, what do I think are the cause of the extreme views that we're seeing out in the world at the moment? So, first off, I know, the kind of the basis of my question is the fact that when you go out and you watch and you see the media and you see Twitter, you see more and more extreme views all the time. And I was recently listening to a podcast called Hidden Brain, which was talking about some of these things, the prevalence of these views, and actually, they the hypothesis, prognosis, the diagnosis, the summary of the episode was that actually the fact that we have key people in key positions of power around the globe who are expressing extremist views has allowed people who already possess these extreme views to express them with more authority and certainty. So it's not the fact that there's been an increase in things like hate speech, in things like um, the extremes of the right or the left. It's that we now are in a position where people of authority express those views, which give validity for other people to express them as well. And I think that's quite an interesting hypothesis, that actually it's not the views of the people that have become more extreme. It's just the views of some people in key positions that give people a feeling of validity, help people express the views they might already hold. So he talks about an experiment, and I'm going to briefly describe it as best as I can, where they got two sets of kids, one a control group, another no, or three sets of kids technically actually, one a control group where they did no activities with, one where a they showed them a hammer and a toy, and they let the kids do what they would, and some of the kids hit the toys, hit it, and there was no consequence. And then another group where the same hammer, same toy, and actually when the kids went to hit the toy, there was a consequence. There was someone who came up to him and said, "Don't do that," and stop. So in those scenarios, obviously, the it kind of rang true with common sense. The kids where there were no no challenge to their behaviour kept doing the behaviour, and that's fairly obvious. The interesting second part of the study took kids who then watched the kids who were beating the toy with a hammer quite viciously and vigorously. So kids were watching a video of that, and if they saw that there were no consequences, so the kid would hit, and the kids watching the video would look around at the parental figure in the room, and if they said, "Don't worry, it's okay," then the kids were more likely disconnected from the environment, disconnected, just having watched behaviour, to then go into the room, pick up a hammer that they saw, and start beating on the toy. So they're more likely to replicate behaviour that could be seen as aggressive when there was an authority figure who was telling them it was okay, as opposed to another group who watched the video and didn't get that positive affirmation, reinforcement from an adult figure. So what's that got to do with people's attitudes? Well, what I think a lot of the time is we can only identify expressed behavior, and as a byproduct of that, we don't necessarily know what's in people's hearts, but we can see when what's more likely to make people display that behavior, and they're more likely to display that behavior when they're being told it's okay, when the behavior isn't being challenged. When the behavior is being challenged, what you tend to get is if someone doesn't have that behavior, then they don't do it. But if they have that behavior, sometimes they can feel aggrieved, and that's where that whole saying of, you know, I'm political correctness gone mad. People would tend to say things like that when they felt like they wanted to say something but were being inhibited in some way. So for me, my kind of hypothesis, my ending statement on this video, just to kind of tie it all together, is that what we're not seeing is an increase in people's attitude to this. We're seeing an increase in people's behaviour. You know, the internet's drove that as well. The fact you can post something anonymously, you're going to see an increase of people exhibiting that behaviour for whatever reason. And sometimes I don't think you can. I don't think you can grasp some of the reasons. Some people are trolling. Some people, they honestly believe it. Some people might just be testing the waters. You can't see in someone's head. But the internet drives an increase in behaviour because of the lack of consequence. But also now in, I don't want to call it the real world, but the physical world, we're seeing an increase in that demonstration of behaviour because there is an increase of people advocating that behaviour in positions of power. And that's kind of my final thought on that. I would love to know what you guys think, what your thoughts and feelings. So stick that in the comments bar down there. Give me some love. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you think I'm right. Tell me if you think I'm missing a point somewhere. I'm open for that type of feedback. Anyway, this is DR saying, guys, peace out and have a safe journey wherever you're heading. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And if you enjoy my content and want to know as soon as I post a new video, follow me on Twitter at Duel_RYT. That's Duel_RYT for more of my thoughts as well as updates as soon as each new video is released.